in there, as Chelsea players have come up and obviously fired back at the side of PSG, and they're like, however much you think you're great, Chelsea can come up and obviously sabotage your plans of lifting what we call the FIFA Club World Cup. Good morning, the world, and all those watching us outside. Where I am, I know some people are really going to bed, others are really still up, but we're here to really digest the stories that are really making rounds all over social media. And today morning, as you know, we're gonna hit to adapt to what we call the morning, right? We're gonna hit to adapt to doing these lives around this time, and I was like, I shouldn't obviously not really do a live for my people because they want it. Now, Leandro Trossard is a player who joined Arsenal on, I think it was 17th January of 2023. I remember in that year, Arsenal was so much interested in bringing in Mokalo Modric, and Arsenal were willing to spend 85 million pounds, but Chelsea went ahead obviously add on incentives that Arsenal couldn't obviously add on, and guess what happened? Chelsea went ahead to win the rest. But some years later, we now know that Mokalo Modric is one of those players that has gotten banned, and he has been struggling at Chelsea, and I think Arsenal went ahead to obviously overcome that, and very many Arsenal fans came up and obviously referred to the transfer of Trossard as a blessing in disguise, because they thought that Modric was good, but when they looked at how he's performing at the club of Chelsea, they were like, oh my god, we dodged a bullet. You understand? That's what we really get in from Arsenal fans all over the world. So as it stands right now, Trossard Arsenal exit rumors have been really making rounds from very many different sources, and we're here to really bring you or really digest this from where it started to where it is right about now. It's Rokani David, and continue to subscribe because we want to hit 27,000 subscribers onto this beautiful channel of ours. Now, where do we start from? The first person that went ahead obviously break the story was all about Sacha Travella. You know, he told us that Leandro Trossard could leave Arsenal this summer despite initial discussions over a contract renewal. The player is happy at the club, but the arrival of Andrea Berta with new ideas could change his future. Arsenal could consider bids around 20 million euros. Now, he was telling us that Leandro Trossard is happy being at Arsenal, you understand, but the coming in through of Andrea Berta with his new ideas might obviously affect his stay at the club of Arsenal. And I think most of you understand this very well, because ever since Andrea Berta came in through, you know what has gone ahead to happen at Arsenal. Arsenal has looked out for right forwards and left forwards. You know, right forward, they've already gone ahead to bring in Honey Madueke, you know that very well. And at the left forward, there are names that they're really painting at, and one of those is Rodrigo and the other is Eze. So that sends us a message that this guy was spot on, that Arsenal wanted to really change the way they play with the wide players, and you see to it that they're really targeting a Belechi Hezi, and the other one is Rodrigo, meaning that whoever comes in through, one of the wide forwards of Arsenal has to leave. That he is either Leandro Trossard or Gabriel Martinelli. And in the same capacity, we went ahead to hear news of Martinelli being linked to teams in Saudi Arabia and Bayern Munich. You understand? So that means there is threat that Andrea Berta and Mikel Arteta have decided that we need to change certain things of how this team really plays. You understand? So that's all about what we are really having in here from the sources that we are really getting this news from. And it shows you that there is what we call a shake-up at Arsenal, and we don't know who will leave and who will stay as far as these left forwards are really concerned. I'll be letting you know who I think should stay according to me and who I think should go in there. So Trossard, we went ahead to get a story from Elis Buse Arak from Turkey. Fenerbahce have reached a primary agreement with Leandro Trossard on personal terms and are now continuing positive negotiations with Arsenal. You heard? So, from Trossard looking for a move, then we got a story that he has gone ahead to agree personal terms with the club of Fenerbahce. You understand? And now, positive talks or positive negotiations with Arsenal are set to continue. That's what we got. After that, we got another story of Trossard that read, Arsenal are willing to let Leandro Trossard go, leave the club after he agreed personal terms with Fenerbahce, who have offered him a 3-year deal but have not agreed a transfer fee. Arsenal are likely to want around 20 million euros. You understand? So we got that from Gary Jacob. You understand? And all those stories, we are like, the guy is leaving, and the guy is not wanted here. You understand? So from there, we got a story from Fabrizio Romano confirming to us that Fenerbahce are not in concrete talks with Arsenal for Leandro Trossard, despite rumors. Arsenal have not received any formal approach or bid from Turkish club for Trossard so far. So, Fabrizio Romano came out and said that there are no concrete talks with Fenerbahce and Arsenal, but he never at any one point said that Fenerbahce hasn't gone ahead to agree personal terms with the side of Leandro Trossard, meaning that they might have gone ahead to really agree on personal terms, but there are no concrete talks between Arsenal and the side of Fenerbahce. That is Fabrizio Romano for you. Then the same person that really brought us this story known as Elis Bus Arak, who works for Exports TV in Turkey, told us that Fenerbahce have halted negotiations regarding Leandro Trossard after Arsenal refused to lower the asking price. Fenerbahce are now looking at alternatives. So he put out this story after Fabrizio Romano said there are no concrete talks between Arsenal and the side known as Fenerbahce, meaning that interest might be there, but Fenerbahce hasn't obviously taken that formal step to obviously talk to the club of Arsenal. So as it stands, Leandro Trossard is with Arsenal in Spain, and he's training with the club very, very, very well. So, what does it mean? Okay, let me first really answer the question. I really told you that I'm really going to have an answer for it, and that is all about of Martinelli and Trossard. If at all they bring in another left forward, who would I sell? One, I would obviously sell Gabriel Martinelli. Why? I want to bring you their stats ever since they obviously came in through at the club of Arsenal, Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli, you're obviously going to get shocked. Because if you ask me who has been more consistent, it's Leandro Trossard. And football is a game of being efficient and consistent and being a variable. That's it. If you're not a variable, then you will never be consistent and you'll never be. You can be efficient, but when you're not a variable, then there is no way you obviously tick all the boxes. Now, let's look at Leandro Trossard. Ever since he came through the club of Arsenal, he has gone ahead to score 21 goals in the Premier League, and he started playing for Arsenal in the season of 2022-2023, and he went ahead to obviously have, in the first season, they are just 6 months, he went ahead to score 1 goal and 10 assists. Those were 10 goal involvements. Gabriel Martinelli, in that season, he scored 15 goals and 5 assists, 20 goal involvements. But remember, Trossard came in through when Martinelli had already gone ahead to play half of the season. Now let's go to the 2 seasons that these two have gone ahead to embrace. Leandro Trossard, 2023-2024, he played 34 games, 12 goals and 1 assist. Let's go to Gabriel Martinelli. 2023-2024, Gabriel Martinelli played 35 games, 6 goals and 4 assists. You understand? This one played 34, he scored 12 goals and 1 assist. Martinelli scored 6 goals and 4 assists. Who was better? it was none other than Leandro Trossard. Last season, Martinelli, 33 games, 8 goals, 4 assists. Leandro Trossard, 38 games, 8 goals, and 7 assists. Who has gonna hit to look better? It has been Leandro Trossard. In the Champions League, 2023-2024, Martinelli, 6 games, 2 goals, and 1 assist. Leandro Trossard, 2023-2024, 9 games, 4 goals, and 1 assist. Who was better? Leandro Trossard. 2024-2025, UEFA Champions League, Leandro Trossard played 14 games. He scored 2 goals and 2 assists. Gabriel Martinelli played 13, 2 goals and 1 assist. Now, overall, who is better? I can let you know that it's Leandro Trossard. And where Arsenal has reached, I've already told you that they don't need players who are really learning what to do. Arsenal needs players who already know what to do and they're willing to take this club to where they want to be. And if at all you've been following up on Leandro Trossard, he's a player that is a finished article, not a player for tomorrow, not a hero diamond. He's a player for the now. And I think why I say that they should obviously let Martinelli go, it's because they can get like 50 million pounds from Gabriel Martinelli and even keep it. You understand? Then they get in Ebelechi Eze or Rodrigo to compete with Leandro Trossard. Then after that, they offer him like a contract of 2 more years, because as we speak right now, Leandro Trossard is 30. Giving him 2 years and a further 1 more year at Arsenal, I think he'll welcome it and he'll be like, thank you very much. You know? And in his, like, he plays 1 season, then you think about going in for his replacement and you can sell him next season. You understand? For like 10 million euros or 15 million euros or 20 million euros, like what it's rumored that Arsenal wanted from him. You get? Because I don't see Martinelli getting any better. That is it. I don't see Gabriel Martinelli getting any better. I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but I don't see him really getting any better in the way he plays. I rather keep Trossard because this is a make or break season for Arteta, and he needs to win trophies. If you need to win trophies, you know to it that you have a player who is really good on the ball and goes by the names of Trossard, and he is really good. He is really that good as a player. So for me, I would let Martinelli go and I either get in Ebelechi Eze or Rodrigo. And any of those that Arsenal really gets, I think, will obviously come and do the job. But I think Arsenal is so much close to getting in Ebelechi Eze than Rodrigo, because Ebelechi Eze has gone ahead to say all I want is to play for a club known as Arsenal, and he's like telling his agent, please don't negotiate with any other club apart from Arsenal. Richard Fenny, thank you very much for coming through this early morning, and hope you're really having the best of the best in here onto our beautiful channel. Now, Trossard for me is the guy to keep and Martinelli is the guy to let go. Now, that decision has to be made, but it depends on how Trossard really feels. You know, Trossard has been more efficient and he came in through at close to 27 million pounds. And if Arsenal is wanting to keep players that are really ready to take them to where they want to be, with that composure, leadership, and versatility, he's the guy. He's the guy. But I fear for Trossard, because looks like Arteta is so much love in Martinelli. But he's forgetting that Martinelli last played well when he was playing to get his contract. That was the season of 2022-2023. That's when Martinelli really played very, very well. And after playing very well like that, he has never gone ahead to obviously have a game like that one. You can all agree with me. He has never gone ahead to obviously have a game or a season like that. After getting his contract, he went ahead to depreciate. And when you look at Trossard, he's consistent and is really trying to improve his numbers, and he's really scoring in goals, and he's a creative player who has gone ahead to win very many games for the club of Arsenal. So that's my narrative in there for you. But The wide forwards that Arsenal are looking in for are Rodrigo, price tag 100 million euros. Madrid calling in for that. And Ebelechi has a release clause that has to be triggered is for 68 million pounds, and Arsenal is looking through. So we don't know who obviously is going to be coming next. Is it Gyökeres? Is it Rodrigo? Is it Ebelechi Eze? Is it Mosquera? But according to my sources, looks like it's either a player known as Gyökeres or Ebelechi Eze. I think it's either gonna be Gyökeres or Ebelechi Eze that Arsenal are obviously gonna be unveiling in here. So let me go into your comments. Feni says, let Arteta first get a striker. Guys, a striker is coming. I tell you, he's coming, and it's gonna be Victor Gyökeres. That is it. You know, I don't know why people are really very desperate, but this time round, a striker is gonna be coming. Last season, the only striker they're looking at was Benjamin Šeško, and when he renewed his contract with RB Leipzig, they pulled out, and they were like, we aren't really going in for none. But now, it's written all over the world that Arsenal want to sign a centre forward. Then Jonathan Ocote, I waited for 2 hours since the last post. Sir Aradi, what percentage can you give Gyökeres to join Arsenal as it stands? 99%. You know, the 99% club. That is it. I mean that 99% club to see to it that we really move and really get to where we want to be in here onto our piano. So Gyökeres to Arsenal, guys, just stay in there. Just stay in there. You know, it's very hard, by the way, for a player to obviously come out and strike and go on like he strikes. I'm not coming to training when he has not obviously gonna have to be given guarantee by his agent that the team that is really the team that you're gonna have to agree personal terms with is really willing to let you go. You understand? I saw this with Anthony at Manchester United when he was at Ajax, and he was fine, but he later came to the club. And good enough, this mutiny that I've gonna have to be made by Victor Gyökeres has gonna have to obviously start way earlier, you know. And even the side of Sporting Lisbon to it that the player is leaving, but they want to milk out all the possible amount of money from Arsenal, and the difference is all about 4.5 million pounds. That's what is really separating the two clubs. So let's see how things are really going to be panning out for the club of Arsenal and the side of Sporting Lisbon. But for me, 99% club, I believe Victor Gyökeres is going to be joining the club of Arsenal. That is it. So let's leave it at that. If at all you feel like you want to support this channel, you can as well buy a super chat. And how do you buy one? You know the drills. The $ is there, and after seeing the $, show your support by clicking on that $, and the rest will be history in there. So let's get to the big one that's going to be played today in the US. It's Chelsea, PSG, FIFA Club finale. What are your thoughts about it? You know, before I even go in to really record the match review, because it's coming in next, it's going to be happening at the MetLife Stadium. That's where the game of football is going to be really happening. 22 hours. That's when the game of football is going to be played. This stadium capacitates 82,500 people. That is the MetLife Stadium. And it's all about football. And New Jersey, there you come. 5 meters west of the New York City. That's where it's obviously going to be happening at. So, what are Chelsea players saying? Now, Reece James, he's one of those that felt like people are really hyping PSG. And he was like, do you know who Chelsea is? Do you know who Chelsea is? Even Chelsea is a big club, and I hate it when I hear that you people are really trying to really see Chelsea as underdogs. And this is what he had to say. Chelsea do not give a damn about PSG's favorite stag. with the club captain insisting they are ready to go toe to toe with their final opponents. So he's like, who is PSG? You know, how many Champions League trophies do they have? To my own concern, as Rich James, it's like they've just gone ahead to lift their first Champions League trophy this year. Chelsea lifted their first Champions League trophy in 2012, and they had played in the final of the Champions League in 2008, where they lost to Man United in penalties. And 2021, you know what happened? Chelsea went ahead to beat Man City in the final. Now, what are these people talking about? Do they even know Chelsea? Chelsea is ants are easy not to crack, and they're obviously gonna be dancing on music. So he's like, the favorite tag will obviously come in through, but we are not obviously gonna be given what we call a bumpy ride, you know. So it's not gonna be a smooth ride for the side of PSG as they take on what we call the side of Chelsea, or the Blue Army. And it's like, I'm the captain and we are ready to go toe to toe, head to head with PSG. We wait. Words have been said, but by the end of today, we'll be knowing who is the undisputed champion of the world in football. Enzo Fernandez, World Cup winner, says, finals are always important. I like playing them. I've been lucky enough to win most of them. It's just another final. Obviously, I'm going to enjoy it. Not like the World Cup final, but I will still enjoy it almost in the same way. Enzo Fernandez started in the final of Argentina and France of the World Cup in Qatar 2022. When he started, a lot happened and went his way as a player. He lifted the World Cup at his young age, and he's like, I've been playing in finals and I don't see any big deal in here. Why people are really so much talking about finals? And it was like, those at PSG, how many players have they played finals? And they've won most of them. For me as Enzo Fernandez, I've gone ahead to single-handedly win most of the finals I've gone ahead to play in, and I've lifted the World Cup. So he's like, I'm not going to be threatened. I'm not going to be threatened by anyone because of what they've gone ahead to obviously achieve this season. I'm Chelsea and I'm ready for the final. And when he was asked about PSG being the best team in the world, he said, I think yes, for what they've achieved and how they play, I think yes. Obviously, this time around, we went ahead to admit, and we all admit that PSG is the best team in the world. They've gone ahead to win their league. They've gone ahead to win the Champions League. They are now in the finals of FIFA Club World Cup, and no one doubts the abilities of being one of the best teams in the world. And they're obviously ready to take on a Chelsea. Then another man came in through, young, but with the heart of a lion and the heart of a warrior. That is Levi Colwill. He says, PSG are an excellent, amazing team, but we are not Real Madrid or Inter Miami. PSG, we are really good, but Real Madrid are very different to us. They don't press like us or play like us. PSG can't expect us to give them the same game. We are different. So he's like, come on PSG, come on Luis Enrique and your team. Chelsea is not Real Madrid. Chelsea is not Real Madrid, for your information. Real Madrid, they never press, and they went ahead to give you lots of space to run into. But as Chelsea, we are coming at you, and we are going to be running at you, and we are going to make sure that we give you a bloody nose. You understand? That's what the side of Chelsea is. And when you look at all these players, they are like on a mission. They want to go out there and prove to the people that we can do something. You understand? They want to prove to the people that we can do something to the side of Chelsea. So to the side of PSG, because everyone is really giving them the favorite tag, as the captain. I was going to hate to say that is Rich James, and they're like, we are PSG. Sorry, they are like, we are Madrid. And when I'm going to be doing my match preview, I'm going to base my match analysis onto that point that this guy is obviously going to hate to talk about. And for those that are going to hate to discuss with me outside this platform, I've told you that Chelsea is a much more better organized team than Real Madrid, because for Real Madrid, they aren't balanced. They aren't a balanced team. Let's all admit, they aren't a balanced team. If you've been following them up for some time, especially last season, in the FIFA Club World Cup, they are not balanced. And to show you that they're not balanced, they've gone ahead to obviously have a crisis meeting, and Alonso has told Florentino Perez that I need more 2 or 3 signings. Though they've brought in Trent Alexander-Arnold, Hoysen, they've gone ahead to bring in Alvaro Carreras, and there is another striker they've gone ahead to bring in through, he's really young. I tell you what, they are like, we need more. We need more. And what's that more that is needed? Obviously, it's all about a CDM. They need a central attacking midfielder, and maybe another player who can play on the left. Because if they bring in a central attacking midfielder, then Adagola can be played as a right attacking midfielder. But they need a Luka Modric, because if you watch that game of Real Madrid and PSG, when they brought on Luka Modric, you saw to it that Madrid started to play and they went ahead to attack the side of PSG badly. And in those final minutes, you saw to it that a lot was really happening, So, I want to let you know that it's not going to be an easy ride. It's not going to be a smooth ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride. And Chelsea is like, we are going to give you a bloody nose. So guys, smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as don't miss out on stories that we do upload in here on daily. And have I even set the membership button in there for you? You can even become a member of this channel by really paying, is it like $3 a month? Support this channel by becoming a member and see us take our production to the next level. Now, the manager of Chelsea, who goes by the names of Enzo Maresca, came up and said the following before the game that's going to be played today. He has a message to the fans of Chelsea. The message is, we need their support. The team deserves all the trust from them. During this season, we finished top 4 in the Premier League, won the Conference League, and played in the Club World Cup. It has been a great season for the side of Chelsea. Obviously, the manager is calling in for the support of the fans, and obviously look forward to really being there and standing in for the side of Chelsea as they do the needful. And as they do the needful to obviously put in the best of the best, I tell you what, it's not obviously gonna be an easy game for both teams. It's really gonna be hard. Let me go to the comment section and see what you people have to say, because in the next minutes we are obviously calling it quits. Peter Bagonza, but what's wrong with the president of Sporting? How are you already? The president is hesitant that they have to pay 80 million euros. That is like 69 million pounds. And Fabrizio Romano has given us a hint on the last bill that Arsenal is going to hit to put him through. And I think I'll really break that story in the next video after I do the match preview of PSG and Real Madrid. Then Musingo Jafali is saying, when will that deal of Gyökeres come to a completion? When will that deal of Gyökeres come to a completion? That is one of the questions. I think very soon. I think this week we are going into, it's really going to be a very important week for that deal. Then, Juma Mithia, tell me about the deal of Eze. A pledge Eze to Arsenal. It's happening. Arsenal are set to meet Crystal Palace and discuss on how they're going to pay the 68 million pound release clause. That is it. Richard Fenny, we just wait. Here we go for Gyökeres. Yeah, I know it's really going to be one of the biggest videos onto this channel. And when Fabrizio pronounces it, I think It's really gonna be one of the biggest videos that will earn or gather very many it will really gather very many views. Then Rossi, Pambano, the big guns will be brought out, and at the end PSG wins. All right, anyone can obviously win. Hero, how are you? Hero? Hope you're doing fine. Thank you for obviously joining in. Then we are having Mutangizi Julius, thanks for the updates. All right, thank you very much. Musingo Jafali, please RD, compare for me the midfield trio of Rice, Zubimendi, Odegaard, and that of Liverpool. The midfield of Rice, Zubimendi, and Odegaard, if they really bond very well, I think it's going to be one of the best midfields in the Premier League, and it will be complete because they'll be having that player who is really good on the ball, his game intelligence out of this world, and he is a modern midfielder. You know, I find it hard to really argue with people about Partey and Zubimendi. You know, the modern game is getting tired of midfielders like Thomas Partey. They need these midfielders who are really good on the ball, the baskets style. I remember Michael Carrick and Sergio Busquets were some of the best midfielders that obviously went ahead to revolutionize the game of football. You understand? Now, look at Man City. They're having a midfielder like Rodri, who is good at passing the ball. You know, Liverpool, Ryan Gravenberch, you know, he's not a destroyer, but he's good on the ball. You understand? And Arsenal has gone ahead to obviously take the same path, that let's get in a Zubimendi and build well, because they know that games of football won and lost in the midfield. And if at all you have that press-resistant player who can really receive that ball and use him as a reference point in that midfield, I tell you what, it can result into you getting results that everyone will obviously be shocked about. And you're going to see Arsenal playing differently by this season, because they're going to be having that player who really gets that ball from the back line and obviously connects the midfield to the attack, you know. Talk about Liverpool. Liverpool, they're going to be having Gravenberch, so Basilai, and McAllister. Good midfield, but I think that of Arsenal really is going to command a lot this season. You know, Man City, Chelsea, and Arsenal, from here I think they're going to be having one of the most robust midfields in the Premier League, because City, Rodri getting back, you know, they have Nico Gonzalez, they have Reinders, they have Kovacic, you know, they have Gundogan. I tell you what, they're obviously going to be enjoying themselves in there. So that is Musingo Jafali, right? Then Anticol says Arteta found out that Jackson is for sale for 100 million euros. That's why Gyökeres deal stopped. No, that's banter. That's football banter. But I tell you what, the fact is Gyökeres is going to be an Arsenal player. It's just a matter of time. I know you are impatient, and most of you are really deluded that if Arsenal signs Gyökeres, 100% they're going to be winning the trophy. Who tells you? You know, Man City had a Haaland. Did they win a trophy? No. So you have to really get excited for every transfer that comes in through. I think you should judge Arteta and Andrea Berta after this summer transfer window really comes to an end. If it comes to an end and they've not gone ahead to deliver a forward, then you should obviously come here and really rant. But if it hasn't gone ahead to end, then don't rant. Just wait and see what's going to happen, because Arsenal has so far brought in 4 players. Kepa Zabalaga, Noni Madueke, Zubimendi, and Nogard. Those are 4. And on the list, they still have Gyökeres, Rodrigo Oleze, and Mosquera, meaning that 3 more are really underway and they will be heading to North London. Now, what if they get in Gyökeres? You get Ebelechi Eze and Mosquera. What will you do? Will you eat your words? I've gone ahead to see very many people really being so much they are sour graping about this, but I don't think it makes sense anymore to sour grape before the summer transfer window really comes to an end. Just watch the space. That is it. There is no need to obviously attack people. Like I saw what they did to Noni Madueke. Arsenal fans, 90% are like, we never wanted that player. And I know the effect. The effect is, most fans are like, Sporting wants £4.5 million, you know, and Arsenal is deliberately not wanting to pay that amount of money, yet they went ahead and spent £55 million or £52 million on Noni Madueke. Let me school you about it. You know, the huge problem that is obviously not letting this deal happen is what money Sporting Lisbon wants Arsenal to pay up front. Sporting is calling for like 40 million euros up front, 40 to 50 million euros. You understand? So Arsenal is like, we are giving you 20, then we'll get you 20 next year and 20 the other year. You get? So that is the fact. It's not 4.5 million pounds as most people really say. It's all about the payment structure, the structure of the deal, you know, the structure of the deal. Sporting want a huge chunk of money up front, and Arsenal is like, we are not willing to offer that. That's the problem. So I don't want to really collect or gather your, what is it called, all your problems, all your anger, and then you obviously pile it on Noni Madueke, you know. Just support the player. He's going to be coming in through. He fled from USA to what we call the Sobha Realty Training Center. He's obviously going to be conducting his medical, and soon he's going to be announced as a national player and rejoin the Arsenal squad down in Spain. You get? We got Madueke, Sono, Eze, or Rodrigo. Who tells you Madueke is going to be playing as a right attacking midfielder or right forward, and understudy for Bukayo Saka and Enzo Fernandez? Rodrigo, all Eze are going to be playing on the left attacking side of the midfield or the left forward. That's where they're obviously going to be playing. So get that right. You understand? Hero, thank you for watching through. And Musingo Jafari says, we love you here in Mbale. All right, Mbale people. Do they say Molembe? Hope I got it right. So I think I'm going to hit obviously answer every question that has been into the comment section. And thank you guys for being part of this live. You can as well buy a super chat to support this channel by clicking the $sign in there for you. Or else you can as well go ahead and really become a member, you know, for this channel in there. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. This is your one and only Rokani David, and hope you've gonna hate to enjoy this. I'm having my usual suspect, Sesi Sulaiman Aradim morning, and hope you're really doing fine. Joseph Chintu says, I think Jokeris will finish the deal at Emirates next week. Jokeris Chintu, USA. So this week we are going into, because today is a Sunday, is really very pivotal and very important into the deal of Victor Jokeris. But all I know is Arsenal going to be signing the player. Just Arsenal fans are really impatient, and I know that impatience because you've waited for 3 seasons, you've been first runner-ups, you know, twice behind City, once behind Liverpool. All what you are calling in for is a striker, because you believe that you are a striker away from winning a trophy, right? But don't be 100% sure, because we've had teams that have gone ahead to be having world-class strikers and they failed obviously win trophies. Your opponents that you're facing this season too have gone ahead to obviously reinforce a lot. Chelsea, they have Gittens in, Yao Pedro, who else? Liam Delap has gone ahead obviously coming through, right? So they also have other players they're still looking at. Liverpool, Corkes, Frimpong, Florian Wirtz, you know, 3 of those are going to hit to coming through, and they're really still looking in for striker, and they can even do a shock attack at Newcastle for Alexander Isak. Man City, Rangers, Cheki, Alturinori, is it Bentoli from Chelsea, a goalkeeper, adding those 4 to the already 4 they signed during the January transfer window, in the names of Marmosh, my best player that I really love at City right now. The other one is Nico Gonzalez. They brought in Reis Nelson, and then they went ahead to get in Kushanov. So all those teams are really trying to really put up or really make themselves better. And the due course of making themselves better, I tell you what, it obviously sends shockwaves to all Arsenal fans, because now your opponents have also gone ahead to really strengthen themselves. Musingo Jafari, what happened to Andre Onana? Hamstring injury. He's gonna be out for 3 to 6 weeks. That is it. City says, I think Jesus should play in the wing, as we are going to be having Gyökeres and Kai Havertz. Yep, it can be considered that way, but we don't know what plan Arsenal has for Gabriel Jesus. So guys, thank you very much for watching through Cities, Musingo Jafari, Joseph Chintu, Sesi Sulaiman, Hero from LA, Anticol, Musingo Jafari, then Mutangizi Julius, Rosie Pambano, Richard Fenny, Juma Maitha, Bagonza Apuli, Jonathan Okot, and Richard Fenny. Thank you for being part of this live stream, early morning live stream. And guys, we are out for now. See you later, my people. We love you.